Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lisa Long. I'm the customer service and account manager for Iowa Land Records. I've worked here a long time. I love e-submission and Iowa Land Records and everything that it does and how it can help you, I think, be more efficient in your work. So we are here today to help to answer your questions and to make sure you understand how to use e-submission, with the caveat that if you ever have any questions, you are welcome to contact our office either by calling us or emailing us or using the support form so that we can help you with either e-submission or search. So with that in mind, let's go. So thanks for joining us today. This is what it looks like when you log in if you have both search and electronic recording enabled on your account. We do have a search webinar coming up. I believe that's next week on the 21st with our project manager, Phil Dunshee, and Kristen will include that in the follow-up materials after today's webinar, and she's also going to pop that into the comments in case you want to register. So this is what the home screen looks like. It's got welcome here. So my name, today's date, how to connect with our office through any of the methods that I suggested, how to get to additional resources. And those are also over here under support. So we'll talk about that as we go through the menu bar, and then how to register for an upcoming webinar. We do these every other month, so the next one will be in March. However, if your firm needs help, we'd be happy to do one of these for you at any time. They're free. We can customize it to whatever business you have. So we've got home, how to change your password. I'm not going to change mine just because I like what I have, but my name, my email, my phone number, how to change the password is down here, and the password requirements. It has to be at least 14 characters, upper and lowercase letters, number, and then the special characters, which are specified here. If you're ever in a pinch and you cannot determine a great password, I like city, zip code, special characters. That's just an idea if you ever need one. So I'm not going to change mine. You can always click the icon here if you need to see what your password is. And then one of my favorite things right here is we've got an e-submission attribute. So this would need to be assigned to every user. And you if you're an admin on the account, or you can do this to your individual account. But if you click here, it says by default, use the party name information from the first document in a group for all subsequent documents. And it just saves time, so you don't have to enter those names again. And it does allow you to edit if necessary. So going back to the home screen here, so we've done change password. eSearch, that's electronic recording search. So anytime you need to search for something in eSubmission, you use that. ILR search, that's the ILR portal where recorded documents from everyone are stored. Currently, there's over 24 million documents that are out there, and they are available to you. Then we have the admin tab. So there are 3 different kinds of users in eSubmission. One of them is the accounting user. So that person can update payment information, update account information, and generate reports for reconciliation. However, they cannot submit documents for recording. The next one is the submitter user. They can submit documents for recording, and they can certainly correct any documents that they submitted, but they're not going to be able to update information. They're not going to be able to generate reports. And then finally, we have the submitter admin. So those people can do everything. They can generate reports. They can edit users by either adding them, deleting them, or updating passwords. They can update submitter information and submitter payment information. Excuse me. And they can edit groups for anyone in a submission. So documents, whether there's one document going to a county or 10, they're submitted in a group. So an admin on the account can edit anything. So clicking into submitter information, the screen looks like this. We've got the name, the organization name here, how they submit through a submission interface submission, an account number. This is an internal account number for us. It has nothing to do with your banking or credit card information, the organization type, the address, and phone numbers and things like that. So all really simple. And then when you select edit, the fields that are editable will be available for you. So you won't be able to change this account number, but you can update the address. Under there, you also have update account. This is exactly like changing password. Same thing. And we have submitter payment information. It looks a lot like submitter information. It's got the org name here, the account number, the names that are on the account, and the fields that you can edit are right here. So you can see how that opens up really easily. So we have a batch, EFT batch. So this customer uses a checking account for payment. Notice that there's no account number information displayed here. It's saved in the background, but it will never display. So don't be upset if you ever log in and don't see any information there. And it's pretty easy if you wanted to change something. If you're using a credit card and you want to switch to EFT batch, you are certainly welcome to do that. Currently, there is only room for one payment method per e-submission account. So your ABC Bank in Johnston, and you only work with mortgages, you'll have an account, you'll have a bank account assigned to the e-submission account. And then your ABC Bank in Johnston, and you only work with releases, and that comes out of a different bank account. We'd probably encourage you to set up one more account, remembering that there's no charge for an account, there's no annual fee, there's no setup fee, and you can have as many users on an account as you need in any of the roles that I described. So all of that information can be edited, and we can't do that for you. So it's all locked for you. I'm signed in as an account admin right now. Next is users. So this is a list of all the users on this account. I'm going to widen that so we can see everybody. So we have, looks like almost everyone's an admin. So again, you can have as many users in any role that you like. This is my username here. If I wanted to edit this top one, I'm going to click on the pencil and I'll just update her phone number and save that. I could also change the role if I only wanted her to have be an accounting role. So those are really easy to update. And then again, here you can select that e-submission attribute. If you wanted to change the status of someone, you don't want them using the account anymore, they've left the firm, you can click right here and delete them. And if I do that, it's going to ask me if I want to do that. So you make sure you do the right one, because once they've been deleted, you can't bring them back with that username. Okay. You need to update the password. You're going to select reset password right here. And it's going to provide you with a field where you can start updating it, assign something very temporary for them, and then have them log in with that username and password within 24 hours, and they'll be prompted to change their password. There will not be an email notification that comes that says, hey, you need to change your password, okay? And then finally, if you wanted to add a new user, you've got a new employee on your team, you're going to select add, assign a username and a role, submitter first, and then if you want them to have search, or you can do search only down here, enable the search otherwise, the first name, all the information, and then just make sure to assign a temporary password. And again, you're going to provide that information to them and ask them to sign in and update the password. There will not be an email generated to them with that information, and I would encourage them to bookmark the ILR login. Anyone have questions about all this information I'm throwing at you real quickly here? Then under support, we have the transfer text calculator, which is really fun to use. So you can play with that. and calculate any tax that would be due if you need that for a closing statement. Transfer tax is calculated automatically in eSubmission. You'll see that in the demo that I provide, but that's out there as a resource for you. Here's a support, our address in Johnston, our email address, or you can create a support ticket, and there's all the information there. But certainly, here's our phone number. Give us a call. We'll be happy to help. And I think we're really good about answering the phone if we're available. If we're not available, leave us a message. We'll call you back. And finally, under resources, all kinds of information here about the DOV PDF. We have some recorded information here, some frequently asked questions. And one more time, if you don't want to look that up, call us. We'll walk you through it. We can help with anything. If I'm not available, my backup is Corey Strasser. She's here in the morning. Today, backing me up on the webinar is Kristen Delaney Cole, who's our communications coordinator, and then Samantha McMahon, who is our accounting coordinator. We are a small but mighty team of, I think we're at 9. Does that sound right, you guys? I think we're 9. We have 3 developers. They're all local, but they work remotely. And then the rest of us are in the office in Johnston. So we get a lot done with not very many people. So those resources are out there and they're ready for you anytime you want to do it. So when we talk about eSubmission, we're talking about submitting documents for electronic recording. You would start by selecting new submission, choosing the county that you're going to submit to. I'm selecting Adair, then naming the group. Think of this as the container that's going to get these documents to the recorder. It's like addressing an envelope or sticking them in a folder or grabbing them and walking them to the recorder's office. Okay. So, and then you have to name the group. So imagine if you're mailing them to the recorder and you have a relationship with them. So we're going to use Jolynn, who's in Plymouth County. You're going to write a note over that says, hey, Jolynn, can you record these for our office? And call me and I'll give you our credit card number. Okay. Or here's the check that goes with them. Okay. So can you record these documents for John Smith? Okay. So we're going to name this group JD Smith. Okay. So it can be any name that you like. It can be your client name, an account number, whatever will help you find it later. And it has to be unique. So I'll show you that in a little bit. But if I choose to select another group for JD Smith, it will tell me it's already been used and I need to select something else. So now I'm going to save it. And there's no documents in the group. I can delete it if I want to. I can change the county if I want to. But first I'm going to add a document. So I'm going to select the document type. The first document will be a deed. The number of auditor transfers always defaults to 1. You can edit that. The maximum amount, you'll be charged $5 for each auditor transfer fee. The maximum amount that is allowed by law is $50. So if you put 11 here or 111, the max over here will only be $50. Then you're going to enter a real estate value. I'm going to enter $90,000 and select the image. So you've got your document signed and you should submit it in black and white, portrait orientation, and 300 DPI. So black and white, portrait orientation, 300 DPI. That ensures that both you and the recorder gets the best quality recorded document. If you don't scan in black and white and you only have a like a color signature, that'll be fine, but keep the color to the minimum to make sure you get a good document. And then you're going to select save. As soon as I select save, you're going to see a whole bunch of things. One, all of the fees over here will calculate. So you're going to have a standard fee based on the number of pages in the document that I attached, a transfer fee of $5 here, transfer tax calculated on the $90,000, and a modal will pop up for party names. And I'm fairly certain there is an orange warning that says you need a declaration of value and a groundwater. Okay, so there's a lot going on when I select save. So now it wants the party name, and we're going to use a grantor, and it will be an organization, and I'm going to make it be ABC Bank and save. Okay. Here's all the fees that calculated: $37 for the number of pages in the document. The recording fees are exactly the same in e-submission as they are in paper. Okay. $5 auditor fee. Oh, why didn't it calculate that? Hold on, we're going to add that in. There's the $5 auditor fee, the transfer tax of $143.20, calculated on the $90,000, and then a $3 e-submission fee. So if you're using a bank account for payment, you will be charged a $3 fee on all documents except for a declaration of value on a groundwater. There's no recording fees for those, and there's also no e-submission fee. Okay. And then, like I said, here's those orange warnings telling me that I need to add a declaration of value and a groundwater. So I'm going to go ahead and add those so you can see what that looks like. So here, add document, select the declaration of value. They're here in alphabetical order. Browse for the image, black and white, portrait orientation. These are all of my test documents that you're seeing, and then save. And you're going to see there's no fees over here when I do this. And the total amount of fees still is only what it was for the deed. And it's still telling me I need the groundwater. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. And browse for the image. Oh, I'm not sure I have one. Let's use this one. And save. And now everything, this could be submitted if I wanted it to be, okay? I'm going to add a couple more documents here. And I like to do this because I like to show you some of the functionality. So I'm adding a power of attorney here. And I thought I had a power of attorney saved. There it is. And save that. So what you're going to see is these fees will change based on the pages in the power of attorney. So here's the total fees of $7 for the document because there's only one page, a $3 service fee, and then the total fees went up. Okay. So now you've got these 4 documents in this group that are ready to be submitted. It's in progress. That means it has not been submitted. Okay. It's been created, but it hasn't been submitted. And we've got the deed, the declaration of value, the groundwater, the power of attorney. You can click on a submission number to see anything, any of the information. You can edit this. If you wanted this to be XYZ Bank, you can do that. You only need to enter one party. The county will index all of the names on the document. Okay, so you can edit those. You could still change the county if you want to. You can also change the order, and that's the functionality I wanted to show you, is that if this power of attorney should be recorded first, because you want to submit these in the order they should be recorded, simply left click on it and then drag it to where you want it to go. And then it shows you all the information over here: the group name, JD Smith, the document type, the power of attorney. Okay. Makes sense to everybody? Thank you so much for being here with us today. Okay, if everything looks good, we're going to select submit group, and there will be a message that displays up here that says that it was submitted successfully. There is not an email that comes to you that tells you it was submitted successfully. Before the webinar ends today, I'm going to show you how to search for those documents that have been submitted, so that you can easily do that and not maybe double submit something in error. Okay, so there's that message that said it has been submitted successfully. I'm going to start another group, but while I do that, does anyone have a special business use that you want me to demo for you today? Okay, so next one is a deer. And I'm going to name it the same thing so you can see what it says. Oh, shoot, I must have screwed up the spacing. I shouldn't have been able to do that, but we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna do add document. This time I'm gonna do a deed. This would be a something like a deed in fulfillment of a contract. So if you're familiar with the whole process, when you recorded the contract, you submitted the contract, the declaration of value, and the groundwater. So now what you're doing is you're submitting the deed in fulfillment of the contract, and you're paying the transfer tax, but you're not going to submit the DOV and the groundwater again. So you have to select the exemptions. So the value goes here for $100,000. Got the one auditor transfer fee. Unless there's more than one parcel, then you would make this 2 or 7 or whatever that is. And you're going to select the exemptions down here for the DOV and the groundwater. Makes sense? So this would be if it was a deed in fulfillment of a contract, or maybe for some reason it is exempt, okay? And find the image and select save. And so all you're going to see over here is the fees that are calculated, and you need to enter a name. And that one is all ready to go. Another example of a document. Are you familiar with the law that changed within the last couple years where it said if you have a conveyance document that does not, the groundwater has no positive conditions on it, you don't have to submit the groundwater, okay? Which we recently did a review of that on how many less groundwaters are being recorded or submitted or reviewed or any of those things, and how much time it has saved everyone. It was really kind of fun to hear that information. Okay, so we've got the deed, and we're going to make this $60,000, and it's exempt only from the groundwater because there's no positive conditions, but you're still submitting the DOV. So you've got only one exemption chosen here. And I'm using bad images, but it should work. Oh. So this message down here says the PDF that I was trying to use for to submit, it contains an invalid rotation. Only a survey document can be submitted in landscape orientation, and that's what I chose, unfortunately. So save. And so now you've got all the fees, the name populated automatically, which I love. And so now I'm just going to add my own name in here so you can show how you edit and then save. So we've got total fees here of $284.40. You can add a document, change the county. You could delete one of these if you wanted to, if you only wanted to record one of these, and or you could delete the entire group. But it says it needs a declaration of value. Oh, I need to add that. And it automatically populates with the initial name. It doesn't pick up that change that I made. So so now I can review the group, see that everything's right here. You can look at this information. There's the party information. You could look at the image if you wanted to. Add additional documents, change the county, delete any of these documents, change parties. I said that. You can write a note here to the recorder. A couple things. One, if there's something really specific, important that you want to tell the recorder about groups that you're submitting, I would call them. Grab your phone and call them. In the larger counties, Polk, Johnson, Lynn, Scott, you're going to ask for whoever is working on a submission. The smaller counties, I think it's very fair to say, hey, this is who I am. This is Lisa. I'm calling from here, and I have any submission question or problem or whatever. Additionally, if you submit something in error, you should immediately call the county. Please do not call our office. Please do not email our office. We are unable to make changes to those documents. Those belong to the county. But so I'm encouraging you to always make sure that you contact the county directly. Once a document is recorded, it's very hard to have it removed from record or to get a refund of those fees. So there you go. And the last step here is I'm going to select submit group. Okay. So okay, does anyone have specific document types that you submit that you would like to see demoed? I'm checking my notes to make sure we don't miss anything. So let's do another one. And remember, you can select any name it anything you want. So what if it's Adair releases? How about that? So you work in a bank that is somebody paid off a whole bunch of loans that go to multiple counties, and you're going to submit all of them. So first you're going to do Adair County because they're first, and you're going to do satisfaction of mortgage and attach the image. Again, I'm using junk docs here. I apologize. And I'm going to enter my name on this one. So this is the first document in the group. Lisa Long paid off her mortgage. And I'm going to add a document here. The next one is also a release. And I'm going to browse for the image. And I'm going to go down here and I'm going to edit the party so that it matches what's on the document. Okay. So got that one, and then one more. You could do as many as you wanted in a group. We encourage you to stick to about 10 documents per group, unless they all need to be recorded together or in a specific order. I mean, we see them like with 20 or 25 documents on occasion, but if you were doing a group of releases, I would try to stick with about 10 if you can, okay? And I'm not going to add the third one because it's pretty easy. I'm going to go ahead and select submit group. Every time we select submit group as a submitter, the recorder is notified that the document is out there and ready for their review. So they're getting an email or they're getting a ding somewhere so that they can go out and take a look at those. And then they open up the group. Their home screen looks a lot like this. And so they would just select the group and walk through it. I'm going to go ahead and work through some documents that were declined, have a fee change, and I'm going to show you how to change the county. So let's change the county first. So this one came back declined. When you log into eSubmission and you see these groups here in pending groups, these are groups that need your attention. Sometimes we say your to-do list. If you're an admin and you're monitoring the work of a team in maybe a mortgage department, this is a great place to keep an eye on what's going on what's been declined or has a fee change and needs some quick attention. So let's do the change of county one first. So I'm looking at it. I'm going to click the submission number. You would have received an email as the submitter that the document was declined, and the information that's down here and that it is the wrong county. That would be included in the email that you received, along with the email and the phone number of the recorder or the person in their office who made this note, who did this. Okay. So it says down here, should be Adams County. So all we're going to do is right here, change the county to Adams. The status here automatically becomes a resubmission. And the last step is always submit group. Okay. Those are easy, easy peasy. Sam, do you mind grabbing that phone, please? Okay, so then let's talk about other groups that are declined here. So select the group name. Again, you've received an email telling you that that each document was declined. In this situation, you would see 3 emails telling you it was declined and the reason for all of them. So you're going to click the submission number and come down here and take a look. I just wrote DOV as a test so I could do something. If everything is fine, you would select edit and then save, and then you'll notice that the status up here is resubmission. Submit group is not active up here because there's still 2 declined documents in the group, okay? So click on the next one, the next declined doc, the submission number. It was a document formatting issue. So let's say it's missing the 3-inch margin, or the color is not good. It's not black and white. To replace the image, you're going to select edit and then browse down here, or replace the image down here. And you're going to find a new document and select save. The fees will recalculate because I've added a new PDF, and then select save. Oh, it's actually the same. Okay. So now that one's in resubmission, and then we have the third one here. So again, you are clicking on the submission number, looking at what was going on. Again, it's a doc format test. You're clicking here on edit and browse to find that new image and save. And now everything is in resubmission and submit group is active up here. So I'm going to go ahead and select submit group. Okay, one more on decline real quick. So click on the group name, click on the submission number, determine what was wrong. Please make sure the name is printed. So you make those changes. You rescan, always in black and white, 300 DPI, edit, find the new image, save, work through all of that to make sure everything is okay. Resubmission, do it with these two. Assignment, make sure the legal is correct. It says per discussion. So it sounds like the recorder called them and said, hey, can you take a look at this one? And we're going to select edit. And find the new document and select save. Before I select save, I want to address a couple things here. Each document assumes one transaction, okay? So you prepare a release or an assignment, it assumes one transaction. You're releasing one loan, you're assigning one loan. You can have more than one transaction on a document. In this case, they were assigning 2 additional, so 3 total. And that's why it's got the 2 here for the number of transactions, so of additional transactions, and you'll see an additional transaction fee of $14 here. In general, I would tell you to not use the number of additional transaction fees field, okay? Because any number entered there times $7 is what your charges will be. It's easy to miss as a recorder. And if you are charged, it's going to be really, it could be very hard to get those fees refunded to you. So in general, ignore this number of additional transactions field, okay? So we're going to select save here so this can get resubmitted. And then one more, I'm not going to submit this one. I'm going to delete that one. And do I want to? Yes. And then submit group is up here. Okay. Questions about resubmitting deleted documents? Okay. Next is fee changes. So you submit a document for recording. You're never charged until a document is recorded. So if you submit something and there's a fee change, it's going to come back to you for approval, and then you're going to resubmit it with the correct fees. It's kind of like if you sent them a check, they're not going to cash the check until you send them the additional $5 or $10 or whatever that might be. So you're not charged at the time of submission, you're charged when the document is recorded, okay? So again, you submit something, the county reviews it, they determine there's a fee change, they make those changes, so it goes into fee change status, and it comes back to you for approval. And you will receive an email telling you that that's out there, but the information is also included in here. So we're going to see that, but you would log in, find the group in your to-do list here, click on the group name, and you can see that the fees have changed. To complete the recording process, accept fee change for each submission. For more information, select the submission number to review the history and the submission form. So I'm going to select right here the submission number and come down here, and it went from 85 to 92. So there was an additional transaction added. Okay. So that's where the additional $7 came. If you're on board with that, all you have to do is select accept the fee change there. The status updates to resubmission. The group is still in recorder fee change status. Submit group isn't active because there's still 2 documents here in fee change status. So select the next submission number. Look at what it said. Fees changed from 52 to 45. It went down $7. So this went from 6 to 5. Okay. If you're good with that, you're going to select resubmission. And then finally, the warranty deed, the fees went up by $5. When I submitted this into staging, I did it without the number of, without an auditor transfer fee. So I could demo that to you. Oh, what am I doing here? And so accept that fee change. Okay. So at this point, you're ready to select submit group. I just want to talk about one thing real quickly, and that's affidavit of transfer and non-transfer. Affidavit of transfer conveys property. It's going from A to B, often seen in an affidavit of surviving spouse. Okay. So A and B owned it. One of them is deceased. The affidavit of surviving spouse conveys the property to the living spouse. Okay. The other type of document is an affidavit of non-transfer. It's a statement of fact, often seen in a trustee's affidavit. I'm trying to think of other things, but a trustee's affidavit says, I am the trustee of this trust and I am authorized to do this. If you work with homeowners associations, you might see one that is the property has been sold and the homeowners association signs off that says the dues are current before the property can be closed. Okay, so that's the difference between affidavit and transfer and non-transfer. Transfer conveys property, non-transfer is a statement of fact. And back to the subject at hand, submit group is always the last step. And there's a question. Does the business name to be listed under the signature on the homestead property page? Tina, I don't know the answer to that one. Is that on a form that you're submitting? That might be a really good question for the recorder. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that. We can certainly find out though. Okay, one more with fee change. Okay, this one's a little bit different. The affidavit of transfer was approved. It was approved, but it was not recorded. All of those all these documents, these 2 affidavit of transfer and assignment, they were submitted together, so they stay together. That first one doesn't get recorded. It's only approved and you haven't been charged because you're not going to be charged until it gets recorded. Okay. So you know how to review these. So I'm going to go ahead and select accept and accept on both of those. So it goes into resubmission. And then there's one more warning here. It says, this group requires party information for the following submission numbers. It's the one that ends in 8763. You're going to click on that submission number. And here's what happened. When the county reviewed this, they deleted the party information that you entered because they wanted to index it their own way. Okay, that's all there is to it. So they deleted it. So we're going to add it back in. And I don't remember what it was, but I'm entering my name. and then save. And now you can submit group and you can do it up there, or you can do it right down here. And look now, the to-do list is done. How about that? Okay. You've got all these groups submitted and you want to know what's going on with them. Okay. You want to know where they are, or something got recorded and you got, notice that it was recorded and you want to be able to find it. So after you log in, you go to eSearch and, first, we're going to do search by county, a DARE, submission date, and then today's date in both fields right here. And search. And there's all the documents that we've submitted during this webinar. Okay, so you can see the name, you can see of the group, you can see the declaration of value, the document type, the group names. You can use any of these columns to sort in any way that you like. Okay, and you can see that they're all in ready for recorder status. You can export this to Excel if you want to. So that information is all out there for you to use. Okay, and then I don't know what we've done in staging of late, but let's take a look. Okay, I was trying to find documents in other statuses to show you. So in progress means it hasn't been submitted. It doesn't look like we have very much out here. Here's recorder declined. You're familiar with that one. There could also be ready for download, downloaded, or stamped. Okay, those you would be able to see right here, as that's part of the recording process. So the recorder reviews it. It goes to recorder approved. They submit the group. It goes to ready for download as they're pulling it into their local county system, then downloaded, stamped, and then paid. And at paid, that's when you're going to be charged, and that's when you're going to be notified that it was recorded. So that information is out there and ready for you to use. If something was recorded and you got that notification, and those are immediate, as soon as they're recorded, you're going to get that information. You're going to go to recently recorded. And there you can see it. And to get that image for your records, click on the submission number and then review document. And then you can print or download whatever works best for you and your organization. Here, this is an affidavit of non-transfer, an affidavit of identity. So that one's out there. Okay. Kristen, have you recorded Tina's question so we can get an answer to that and include that to everybody when in the follow-up materials?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, what questions does anyone have real quick? I want you to learn everything you want to learn today. I'm logged into our production environment now. I'm gonna do maybe 5 minutes on searching on the public site to confirm. Correct, Rose. The group name will not be used for indexing. It's only going to be for the process, and it will show up on the reconciliation report. So if I go up here to admin and reports and settlement, and let's try this one. This would be October 24. You can see those, you can see the group name, and then it's got the book and page or the reference number. So that's really helpful. As an admin, I think this is really helpful because it tells you where it was recorded, and who submitted it. So you can find that information if you need help with discrepancies. Yep. Okay, to confirm, what have been some of the oldest documents that reliably need to be read? Oh, okay. So Nicholas, yeah, if the documents in the 1800s, for the most part, have not been scanned. Um, they just haven't, they're getting done as counties have resources. But that takes a lot of time, and not a lot, all the counties don't have resources. Some of them are working with only 3 or 4 people or even less in their office, maybe just a couple. So they're doing it as they can, but it kind of depends on the county. If you ever have a question, give us a call. We can take a look. The information on how far back each county is not currently on our new website. Um, so we can always help you with that. And do you mean seen often, you see that in other states? And Rose, I answered your question correct about the group name. Okay, let's look at search real quick in our production environment. So if you wanted to search for a record, yours will look a little bit different. You'll go to ILR search. If you're here, this is the admin, but the search parameters are the same. So you're going to select public search, and then you're going to choose one of these options. So if you did county search and we did Adair and current month and then search, you've got 51 records returned. I'm going to broaden this, and then I'm going to sort them in different ways. So I've got recording date ascending. So everything from January 2nd is at the top. I could sort by reference number and ascending. So then it's all in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And I can also sort by document type. I did Adair. Yeah, okay. All right, so then if I do name search, let's do organization and Dallas. Oops, sorry. And we're going to do Green State, okay? And Dallas County and last month. Okay, this is likely going to return no results, and I'll explain why, okay? No results. So I'm going to refine the search. And the reason it didn't is because you need an exact name when you're searching. Okay. So you're going to do Green State and then an asterisk as a wild card. And then we'll see how many results there are. Oh, okay. Maybe it's all one word. There, it's all one word as Green State Credit Union, and there were 88 results, and then you can sort them in any way. Okay, so remember, it's an exact name match. In our old system, if you typed in my last name Long, you could get all of them. You would get all of the results. So if I type in Long, I live in Dallas County. So and then search, it should give me no results because it's missing a last name. And I might have done too big of a date range there for it to do that. While we wait for that, I think the most important thing is to remember is it does need an exact name match or the use of an asterisk. So in that previous example, um, if I had done green and then asterisk, I could have determined how Green State was indexed. This has taken a really long time. I'm going to change this. So I'm going to long, um, so anybody whose last name is Long, first name L, um, in Dallas County, and then you can see all of them. There's Larry, Tracy, lots of Tracys, Bradley. So anyway, why was Bradley included? Oh, because of Lori. Okay. So anybody there. Okay. I think that's the most important thing to remember. We do have a webinar scheduled for next Tuesday on search. I would encourage you to participate if you can. We will record it just like we recorded this one, and it will be out there and able for you to use. If you're working on a project that you need help with it sooner rather than later, give us a call. We'll be happy to walk you through any of the searches and help you see if we can help you determine how something is indexed, or how to find it, or if the document does exist on Iowa Land Records. So we know everyone's time is valuable, and I often say that no one has time for that. And what I mean is you've got lots of things to do, and we don't want to spend time waiting. So we're happy to help you get through those things and through your tasks. So let's do last call for questions. It's 2:51. We've got a few more minutes. I'm happy to stay here as long as you need us to. Okay. Nicholas, I think your experience of documents not being digitized or electronic for those years is very normal. Okay, so in closing, if you are not an e-submission customer and you're interested in getting started, we'd be happy to walk you through that process. You can easily find the application on our home screen, iowalandrecords.org. The business application is right here, and it allows you to select that you either want you want to use Iowa Land Records e-submission or search or both. There's no charge for an application. There's no charge for having an account, and you can have as many users as you would like. So, and it's free to use. We'd be happy to walk you through anything that we can. Thank you for joining us today. It's always a pleasure. I hope you learned a lot, and that if you have questions, you'll connect with us through support, and let us help you. Thanks so much. Stay warm. Enjoy the rest of your day.